Hey guys, so about 4 days left before, or 4 or 5 days left before we get the celebration info for the 5th anniversary on JP Dokkan, and I think it's a pretty good thing to assume, or a pretty good guess, that the two units that are coming out are going to be Blue Gogeta and a Blue Vegito. We got the collaboration figure for Blue Gogeta released, or revealed quite a long time ago. And now that we know that the figure is of a pose that's not in the game, it's like 99% like possible that we're going to get a LR Blue Gogeta during this anniversary. And the other one is most likely going to be Vegito Blue. So basically what I did was, based off of that information, I went ahead and made two predictions about the LRs that we could be seeing. Obviously one of them is going to be Blue Gogeta, or in this case transforming Blue Gogeta, and then the other one is going to be a Blue Vegito, which will be a separate video because I think that these are intricate and complicated enough to warrant their own videos, because otherwise this would just get way too long. So just keep that in mind. This is not confirmed 100% as of right now, but it's like 99%, 95 to 99% sure that this is what's going to happen. So take this with a grain of salt, but I'm pretty confident in saying that I think this is what's going to be arriving soon on the JP version of Dokkan. But here we go. This is not, I mean, obviously it's going to be impossible to predict, quote unquote, what it's going to be, but this is what I would do if I was in charge of creating the cards. Just a forewarning here. These guys are intentionally made to be extremely broken. I did not hold back at all. I would say these guys are easily the best units in the game if they were actually real. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the first card here, which is starts off as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. So the iconic pose from the Broly movie where they're both shooting, the Kamehameha and the Gallic Gun. Got their stat spread here, obviously very high attack, very high defense. I mean, not very high defense, but pretty good defense for a summonable LR. These are rainbow stats, by the way. So put that in there. Leader skill. So I think it's about time we got a true joined forces category leader skill. And I think this is the perfect card to do it because, the whole theme of them working together finally. So joined forces category, key +3, HP and attack +170, and then defense +130. Or Bond of Master and Disciple category, key +3, HP and defense +170, and attack +130. The reason why I went with Bond of Master and Disciple, which you'll see the real reason why later, but I think it does actually work with this unit because the whole thing that Whis was trying to teach them was to work together a lot of the time, right? I remember he alluded to that during ROF, Resurrection F, when he was like, oh, if you guys work together, you might even be able to defeat Beerus together. So that was sort of an allusion to that, and I think like throughout the course of Super, there was a lot of allusions to them working together, and now that we see them doing this in the Broly movie, pretty thoroughly, I think it makes sense to give them this leader skill, and it also needs a better, well, not a better leader, because Future Gohan is not a bad leader for it. I just think, when we see the details of this card later, you'll understand why I put that there. So, Bond of Master and Disciple, key +3, HP and defense +170, and then attack +130. Alright, let's get down to the super attacks in this form. The 12th key is Super God Combination. This is the one where they're just like, charging at Broly, punching him and stuff. It's not really, like, to be honest, there weren't really that much going on with these guys. The only thing they did was this attack, and then they're fighting for like a minute max, so there wasn't really much to go off of. But that's that attack. Raises attack and defense for 3 turns and causes colossal damage, so that's not bad. 18th key is the Kamehameha and the Gallic Gun, which is that iconic shot that you see there. Raises attack and defense for 6 turns and causes mega colossal damage. So 6 turns is pretty good for an LR, especially because you'll be able to stack that. It's like kind of like I believe it's Tech Goku Black, the LR, that in their LR form stacks defense for 6 turns. So it's pretty noticeable. So that's that. Passive skill. Godly Mastery. Attack and defense plus 100%. That's pretty solid. Perform an additional attack. So it's not a super attack, just a normal attack. Attacks have a great chance to lower enemy attack for 2 turns, and then perform an additional attack which has a great chance to become a super attack when there is a movie bosses category enemy. So he's good against movie bosses, which makes sense. So this is really strong. I didn't want to make this form too powerful, but like this section is really good because having a great chance to lower enemy attack by 2 turns. And then on top of that, they perform an additional normal attack, which also would factor into that as well. So we could potentially lower attack twice or even 3 times so they get an additional attack. But it's not guaranteed. Obviously, it's a great chance, but still, that's really good. And then defensively, they're going to be fine because 100% defense is not bad at all for an LR, especially with 14 whatever K defense they had up there. So that's that. Links are prepared for battle, warrior gods, legendary power, Kamehameha, Super Saiyan, shocking speed, and fierce battle. I gave them really good links because they did not have anything in their passive to give them key, change orbs, anything like that. So I think giving them both prepared for battle and shocking speed is what we want to be doing here. I was thinking about also giving them over in a flash, but I didn't want to go overboard with it. But I think this is fair. And then we go with the active skill. So their active skill is fusion. And the effect is 50% chance to successfully perform fusion. 50% chance for fusion to fail and become stunned for 1 turn. So this would basically be if you use the active skill and they transform into Veku or what? Yeah, I think it's yeah. So they transform into Veku, and then if you do that, you're stunned for 1 turn. So it's a high risk, high reward sort of thing. But there is another stipulation here where if you have a 100% chance to successfully perform fusion if Piccolo is attacking in the same turn. And you can use this, so let's say you use it and it fails. The next turn this guy is on rotation, you can use it again. But this is why I went with Bond of Master and Disciple here, because all the Piccolo units are on that category. You can even use the Dokkan Fest Piccolo. You could even use the Easy 8 Piccolo, the physical one, that just Easy 8, because he actually gives, what is it, like 70% defense to the rotation. So him paired up with this guy would actually be pretty good. And I think this is a pretty fair active skill. I mean, there's no conditions, so like you can literally just use this whenever. Turn 1, you can use this if you wanted to. So if you start out turn 1 and you get the rotation of this guy and Piccolo on the same rotation, you can just go ahead and use this turn 1 and he'll fuse. I think that's a fair trade-off. It's like, and if for some reason you don't want to run Piccolo and you just want to run this guy, you don't even have to have Piccolo on the team. You could try your luck with the 50% chance. And then see what happens. But so he transforms or fuses into Gogeta here. So we have base form Gogeta. Super attacks, 12 key is the instantaneous flash. That was taken from Dragon Ball Heroes. To be honest, there wasn't really much going on with base form Gogeta in the movie, so I wouldn't have much to go off of. But this move in Heroes is he instantly teleports behind the enemy and then smashes them to the ground basically. But that greatly raises defense for 1 turn and then causes colossal damage. 18 key is Super Kamehameha. I'm sure they could do something cool with that if for animation wise. Causes mega colossal damage and increases chance to evade enemy attacks by 30% for 1 turn. So I went ahead and made this guy very centered around dodges, because in the actual movie, pretty much this guy doesn't even attack, he just dodges. He dodged everything. So I wanted to stay true to that sort of and give him this effect, which we also have not seen anywhere before. On a super attack to have a chance to dodge, that was pretty cool, so I added that. Passive, unmatchable speed. Attack and defense plus 120%. Perform an additional attack which has a medium chance of becoming a super attack, so that part of it is powered up. Chance of evading enemies' attacks plus 15% for each attack evaded. Max of 50%, and they transforms when conditions are met. So after you super attack with the 18 key super attack, you get this 30% chance to dodge, and then you can then increase his base chance to dodge off of that by dodging even more. So this guy can get up to 80% chance to dodge, basically. If you have this, and then you have this maximum passive. But he's not really going to get there because he transforms upon entering the next attacking turn. So yeah, I basically wanted to make this guy, this card overall, super easy to get transformations with. So we got this guy basically going to be active for 1 turn, and then the next time he comes around a rotation, you're going to have... Well, I guess you could see this, right? Because you only need 4 dodges. So if you're getting attacked 4 times in the turn, his dodge is going to be insane. But he's going to transform next time he comes around. Links. So these are the 2 new links he gets. He loses... I believe he loses Prepare for Battle and then something else for Fuse Fighter over in the Flash, which is fine. So it goes into Super Saiyan Gogeta next. Super attacks are the Gallic Gun, which greatly raises attack. So stacking greatly raises attack and causes colossal damage. 18 key Stardust Fall greatly raises attack and defense, so it's a stacking, and causes mega colossal damage. Okay, those are both really good because obviously greatly raising attack is pretty good, and then greatly raising attack and defense on an LR is crazy. Greatly raising defense for infinitely. His passive is Infinite Tenacity. Attack and defense plus 120%. High chance of evading enemies' attacks, including super attacks. High chance of launch up to 2 additional attacks. So they're not going to be super attacks, but that's going to be good anyway. And then chance to perform a critical hit plus 10% with each attack performed, up to 50%. And then he transforms when conditions are met. And then the same conditions here as the base form. He comes around again on rotation, he transforms one more time. And then we get to the links. He picks up Prepared for Battle and Super Saiyan. So his link set is pretty much like really good. Prepared for Battle, Overrun, Flash Fuse, Fighter, Super Saiyan, First Battle, Experience Fighters, and Legendary Power. You're not really going to see a better link set than that on any unit. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. So here he is. Now I know the art was already released, but I couldn't find a high quality image of that. But I thought this one was pretty cool. We already know what the art is going to be for this guy. It's going to be the one where he's like, his fist is like clenched and he's like about to charge Broly. That's the art they're going to use. So super attacks. This is where things start to get very, very crazy. 12 key Stardust Explosion. That's the attack where he lifts his hands up in the air and like explodes Broly. So that massively raises attack for 1 turn and causes Mega Colossal damage with a high chance to stun. So 12 key, Mega Colossal, and a high chance to stun, and massively raises attack for 1 turn. This is like, so this part, it's like a super powered up version of Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta's 12 key super attack, because it also has a chance to stun and it's just Mega Colossal instead of just Colossal. 18 key is the Full Force Kamehameha, which is the one he used on Broly when he was about to finish him off before he got warped away. Massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes Mega Colossal damage and massively lowers defense. So this is pretty much the LR Super Saiyan 4's 18 key super attack, except it also massively lowers defense, which can be good and situationally. Now we get to the passive. Limitless Might. Attack and defense plus 80%, that's baseline, plus an additional attack plus 80% when performing a super attack. High chance of performing a critical hit, high chance of evading enemies' super attacks, including super attacks, high chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, deal double damage if there's an enemy whose name contains Broly. This is just meant, obviously, to just completely obliterate any Brolys that you fight. But I just think that, like, so this is a base, and then you also get 80% attack when you perform a super attack on top of the 80% he's already getting at base form, plus you're getting the massive raise here. So, I mean, plus you also get high chance to crit, high chance to dodge, and you get 2 normals added onto that. So think about what your attack set's going to be once you have all this stuff factored in, plus the massive raise. Like your normal attacks are going to be like over like 1.5 million attack stat. So yeah, I pretty much made this guy completely insane. But the thing I want to stress with this guy is, I think I did a good job with the transformation conditions. I really want them to start doing stuff like this. Like, instead of making like these ridiculous conditions, they should just do like percent chances to activate transformations like instantly. So like, instead of you needing to have an Android category on your team to transform, or you need to have X or Y in your team to transform, I think they should have 2 sort of separate buckets. The first bucket would be you have a like a 30, 40, 50% chance to transform, just after turn X has passed, and that's just baseline. There's no conditions. But then if you want to accelerate that or make it easier to get the transformation, then you add on conditions. So, like for this guy, for example, like this 50% chance of successfully perform fusion, like this is a big risk. Like getting stunned for 1 turn is really bad. Like that's a pretty big risk, but it's 50% is not that low. So I feel like a lot of people would just take the risk and use this, or you can decide to build your team around this unit and put a Piccolo on it. Put a Piccolo on your team to help him transform more often. And that's one of the reasons why I gave him Disciple of Master and Student, or Bond of Master and Disciple. So overall, I think like this guy's obviously extremely good. He'd probably be the best card in the game, but I don't think he's like invalidates any, like, I don't think he invalidates the entire game. I don't think he's that broken. But something like this is what I would like to see in Dokkan for this anniversary. I think it's about time we start phasing out some of the older units like Kale and Khalifa. We don't need them being the best unit in the game anymore. And then obviously with the introduction of equipment coming to the game, I think starting to ramp up the difficulty of a lot of events is also necessary, for the growth of this game in the future. So that's going to be it. Let me know down below what you guys think of this. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit something different than I normally do, but I have a lot of fun doing this kind of stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one when we look at Vegito Blue.